It's easy to speak out about the way I live, but it's a 24-karat dream. No supermodel in my dirty jeans, but in my 24 inches heels. I'm not pretending, I'm born like this, a game for the reckless. It's so extreme and I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. They're calling me a mad woman, mad woman, mad woman. Calling me a mad woman, mad woman. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. 'Cause boy, it's none of your business if I'm a mad woman. It's trouble in your mind how I spend my time, but it's a 24-hour streak. Wasting all your thoughts just to criticize, but there are plenty more ways to think. I'm not pretending, I'm born like this, a game for the reckless. It's so extreme and I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. They're calling me a mad woman, mad woman, mad woman. Calling me a mad woman, mad woman. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. 'Cause boy, it's none of your business if I'm a mad woman.
Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to another episode of Let's Connect show on KONNECTiN. My name is Vijil Bose. Today, we are coming up with an interesting topic, mainly for filmmakers. And if you are getting started in filmmaking, and if you are, have some experience in filmmaking, and this session is going to be useful to you. And this session is also equally useful to location sound mixers. And by the way, if you are new to our show, please drop in a comment and let us know where you're from. And if you think that the information that we share through this channel is useful to you, please consider subscribe to our channel. Please consider subscribing to our channel and click the notification icon so that you will not miss any content that we create in the future. All right. So today's topic is all about timecode. Timecode, I think in a few years when I got started in filmmaking, I had no clue what timecode is all about. And just like any others who got started, I went through that trial and errors. And I've been in the situations where I record the video using my camera, and I record the audio using an external recorder, and I bring it into my editing timeline. Then traditionally what I used to do is to sync audio and video using the waveform synchronization method. It's okay. It is more like a hit or miss, and if it is a miss, then you have to spend countless hours to make sure that your audio is synced with the video. And I've been in a situation where I spent hours and hours trying to sync audio with the video in the past. And that is when actually I started thinking about there has to be a better way to sync audio and video and make my filmmaking process and also my editing workflow much more smoother and much more faster, and make myself become more productive. That's when I actually started learning about timecode. And back at the time, actually, I also got in touch with a location sound mixer. He had very expensive timecode generators at the time. I forgot what it was actually, but like I said, I was brand new and I had no clue about all these devices. And he kind of showed me how to actually jam the time between different cameras and location audio mixers. And then he also kind of explained to me how easy it is to bring this audio and video in the editing timeline and sync it based on the time code. So then I didn't understand a lot of it, but then I finally got hold of a device, something like this. This is a device from, it's called Tentacle Sync. This is from a company called Tentacle Sync, and they manufacture a pristine quality time synchronization devices like this. And I will show you how quickly you can actually use these devices in your filmmaking process and also in your location sound mixing workflow. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. The first thing that you have to do is, you actually, if you have, typically I shoot with more than one cameras, camera A, camera B. Sometimes I shoot with 3 cameras, especially the third one will be on an electronic gimbal. And if you have this, you probably need more than one if you are using more than one camera for your shoot. So in today's demonstration, I'm going to be using one camera, which is going to be my Blackmagic 4K cinema camera. It's a pocket cinema camera, and I also have an external audio mixer, the audio recorder from Sound Devices. It's called MixPre 32 series, and I have got a couple of Tentacle Syncs. All right, so when you have these devices, we have to consider one of them as a master source, something called master clock. And before we get started, what is actually a time code? Back then I had no clue. I told you, right? I had no clue about what time code was all about. And time code, this is how I understood about time code. Time code is nothing but a bunch of numeric codes that just generated at regular intervals. And it helps in synchronizing the time between different devices that you use in film production. All right. And or video production. If you are a vlog, actually this is not going to be very useful in live streaming per se, because live streaming, everything gets mixed live. And this workflow is going to be useful for someone who is actually bringing audio and video into editing timeline and edit it and mix it together and then later upload to your desired platform of choice. So Tentacle Sync. So what we're going to do is, before we get started, let me get to this. This is my camera. Hey, camera, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera here, and I have got an external audio mixer. It's a MixPre 32. So, and I'm going to be considering this guy as my main source. And it's a very simple one, nothing complicated at all. It has got one 3.5 mm audio jack, audio input, and the other side is actually has got USB-C input port, for you to charge this this device. And once you charge it, actually this can hold charge for crazy 30 hours. That means you will never run out of power in the middle of a shoot. And that's what I tested it, and it just works, and it works seamlessly well. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to power on using this dongle on the side here, and you have to press and hold it, and it has got 2 modes, green mode and red mode. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually we're going to actually you see that it's actually turn. I think I'm going to turn it off. You're going to make sure that it is actually turning green. You power on. There you go. So now actually it is just generating time. The actually is blinking. The red, the green mode is actually, the green light is actually blinking. So now you take the second device, second tentacle sync, and you just power it down until it changes to red. Okay, that means it is ready to receive time. So now what you have to do is you have to sync between these two tentacles. How do you sync? You take this 3.5 mm cable, you connect one end to the main source, and the other one you connect to the second tentacle sync, and then you'll see immediately the second one changes to green from red. You see that? So that means both have the time synced. Now, how do you actually see this in action? So now, for that, these devices I can pair it with my phone. There is an app available on Android as well as on iOS. And let's actually quickly take a look at that. And this is my phone. I have an app called Tentacle, and you just fire that. And I already paired these devices once, so you will be able to see that. You just have to say add device, and I have three of them here. Actually, one is already running because I use one of the tentacles on another camera that I used to record a session right before this live session for today's demonstration. So so the first one, actually C was already running, so don't worry about that. So now I've got now if you look at it, actually those time is already synchronized, pretty much. I wish I could actually pause it and I actually take a look at the time, but actually it's pretty accurate. And so now we know that actually these devices, these little tentacle syncs are all synced properly. So now what you have to do is you can actually unhook this cable from this, and you can actually take one of them and connect to your audio recorder, which is going to be this guy. So I'm going to be connecting this guy to my audio recorder using this 3.5 mm, and actually my MixPre 3 can take an auxiliary mic input. So I'm going to be connecting this time tentacle sync to the microphone input, auxiliary microphone input of the MixPre 3 too. And then boom, boom, automatically I can see the time on this monitor. At least you cannot see this properly, but actually it is here. The time is pretty accurate here, and actually I'm looking at my phone here, and both of them have the same time. Now I'm going to take the second device, which is actually already synced. The time is already synced. I'm going to be connecting to my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K camera. So now I already have this Velcro here. So, and this device comes with this Velcro at the back of this device. So we just have to actually tape it, place it on another Velcro attachment, and it just stays right there. And these devices, this Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K as well as this MixPre 3 too, they are high-end devices, and these devices already have timecode built in, and MixPre 3 has got precision controlled circuitry, time circuitry already built in the device. And Blackmagic Pocket, the beauty of these devices, actually it can also take an external time code. Not only these units, these devices have built-in time codes, it can also take in external time codes. So it makes perfect sense, right? Because we don't have any other centralized time mechanism through which you can actually run the cable and connect to these devices, because everything is wireless. and these devices are mobile, and especially camera is with the camera operator. This audio recorder is always going to be with the location sound mixer. So now all these devices have the same time code synced, and now that process is called time code jamming. Okay, so this device, the one that connected here to the audio mixer, is actually jamming the time code into the MixPre-3.2 through this little device, and same time code is also jammed into my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K. So now let's actually power on the cinema camera 4K. Now show this to you. Let me take it to the main. 1 second. Now I don't know whether you can see this or not, but this has got then it says actually external time code. It says, can you see that? This shows external time code. So that means it is receiving the time code from the tentacle sync. Let me place my camera securely so that it doesn't really bother us. All right, so now, so that's how you sync the time between these devices. And now, what we can do is actually we can now you record it using this the camera, and your audio is actually getting recorded using MixPre-3 audio record, because I also do location sound mixing. So I use this MixPre-3.2, and sometimes I use MixPre-3.6 for location sound mixing, and depending upon the nature of the work. And I use this tentacle syncs for all my professional gigs, and it just works flawlessly well. And I had no problem in singing the sound, and every time that I sing the sound, it was so easy. And that's when I realized I wasted so much of my time in the past trying to sync audio with the video, when that waveform based synchronization didn't work for me all the time. And if you look at the time, if you look at the benefits of having these devices, well, these devices are not cheap, because single tentacle sync would cost about $250 or so, roughly about $200 to $250. I haven't checked the price lately, but I think when I got it, I think it was $250 single piece, and I didn't buy it in one go. I bought it in stages, and then I have now at least I have 3 tentacle syncs, which I always use 3 of them in my shoot. So so that kind of worked. And if you look at the benefits, and those benefits actually outweigh the amount that you would pay for this device, because the time is precious, right? Because, and especially if you are working on a time sensitive content, and you got to deliver the content on time, right? And time is very, very critical, and you wish that you had one of these devices. And if I have a choice to pick, there are different time code generators out there in the market, and if I have a choice, I pick these because these are very less invasive, and it just works, and I can actually see them in action by firing the Tentacle app on my phone, and actually take a look at whether the time are already synchronized between those little Tentacle syncs. And so now what we're going to do is actually we're going to take a look at a footage that I recorded right before this live session, just to demonstrate how that timecode synchronization really works in the editing workflow. All right, so let me take a look. Let me switch to my DaVinci Resolve. So let me see if I can. One second. Okay. Hey Maya, how are you? Thanks for checking in. So now you can see this clearly. So, okay. I have this, I created a sample project called Timecode Sync. It's called Timecode. And I've got in my a video bin, I've got a sample video that I just recorded right before the session. And I also have an audio that I recorded using my Mix3 audio mixer. So now what you have to do is, now if I play it, well, before I get started, I ran into a glitch, right before I went live. When I tested it actually, and I was getting the audio from my iMac, which is the one that I am actually running, DaVinci Resolve, through my live streaming switch. But now for some reason that audio is not coming through the live streaming switch. So I'm going to be, using the internal speakers of my iMac, and hopefully you'll be able to hear this. This is one of those, the last minute glitches that you will encounter, especially in live shows. But anyway, so this is actually my the source video. By the way, this is not graded, and again, I did not frame it properly or something, because I was the only one who was doing it, and I just did it just to demonstrate the use of the time code synchronization. All right, and but I have a habit of using this color chart for all my shoots, and even though I recorded in RAW format, this color chart gives me a very accurate white balancing. So that's why I always have a habit of using this, even if it's a for any work, even if it's a demonstration work, and I always like to use this color chart. All right, so now I'm going to scrub it through this video. See, that audio is a scratch audio, so it is not that audible. So now let's play the audio that I recorded using, and and with the tentacle sync, actually, it's going to improve your post-production workflow, especially in terms of remixing and re-record, or actually remixing your audio with the video. All right, see the difference. So it's a drastic difference. Now what we're going to do is now we're going to take this video and this audio, and right click. There is an option here called audio sync audio menu option, and it's based on time code. So that is what we're going to be selecting here. So now what I'm going to create a new timeline using the selected clips. So timeline 1. All right. So now if I open the timeline, I've got my audio synced from external audio mixture. I also have the scratch audio. So now if I play this, let me see where my audio comes. I think I started speaking right around. Okay, there you go. See that sound? Action. See? Today I'm going to be recording this video using two cameras. One is Blackmagic Pocket 6K camera, which is going to be my A camera, and the other one is actually Blackmagic Pocket 4K camera, which is going to be my B camera. And additionally, I also have an external audio recorder, which is a Mixpre 3 II. And in today's demonstration, what we're going to be doing is one object, actually two objects. See, that's up. See, it is that simple. See, I saved so much of time in the post. And if this was not there, if well, the waveform synchronization works sometimes it doesn't work. So that's why I mentioned earlier, it's more like a hit or a miss. If there is an issue with that waveform synchronization, then I really have to spend time in adjusting this audio with the video playhead, and making sure that the lip movement is accurate. I know that there may be tools out there that you can apply, but again, in my disposal, this is all I have, so I have to work with what I have, right? And DaVinci Resolve is available to you, and you can actually freely download from Blackmagic Design's website, and you don't have to pay any extra penny for that. And there you go. So that works. And so what is actually this Timecode has got different components that make up the Timecode. The one is the hours, the minutes, seconds, and the last one is called frames. So I didn't show one thing when I actually showed my phone. Here, let me go back to my phone here. See, before I added here, because these devices were already added into my phone, into the Tentacle. The first time that which you have to do is when you have to really mention what frames per second that your camera is going to be recording the video, because that's the last component of the Timecode is actually frames. So typically, for all the narrative work, you use 24 frames per second or maybe 23.96. You got to mention that. And for television, it's actually 30 frames per 30 FPS in the US. If you are in the Europe or any other parts of the country, the world, sometimes it's going to be 25, and then I think it's 25, right? I think it's 25. But anyway, I'm not really following the international standards, because since I'm in the US, I always follow the US standards. But 24 and 30 is what I usually set it to, and it just works. And it worked all the time. Every time I use this device, it just worked. It saves so much time. And if you are looking for one of these devices, actually the link is in the description, and it's in my affiliate link. You can check that out. And when you buy through my affiliate links, we get a small commission from Amazon. Every little bit helps in creating a valuable content for you guys. And what I'm interested in actually hearing from you guys is what your experience is about how what is your experience in actually syncing audio with the video in the post. And please use the comment box to let us know, because I'm interested in learning different experiences actually. And before I say goodbye to you, just one more thing I really wanted to show you. Just one more thing. If I don't show you that, let me quit DaVinci Resolve. Just let me save this project so that I can revisit that. There is an application that you can actually download from Tentacle's website. It is called Tentacle Sync Studio, and this is something that which I should have discussed this. Oh man, this is going to be a little problem. Let me see if I can adjust my. The only issue with my footage is actually it's a Blackmagic RAW, and Tentacle Sync does not really understand that RAW raw footage. So, but anyway, I just want to quickly show this how this works, and you can actually use this application. It's again, it's free to download. So what you have to do is you have to add these files. So let me go back to the folder where I am keeping that my raw footage. Under projects, movies, projects, timecode sync video. So I'm using this this audio file. So now you can actually see that it has got file TC, and it has got timecode baked in, 24 FPS. And so that's a jammed timecode. It's an externally jammed timecode from Tentacle Sync. And what I'm going to do is, well, anyway, I quickly show how I can drag this. Even though it shows here, but it cannot play here, because it does not understand, the player does not understand this raw file. But I just want to show you real quick. Now you can see that the file timecode is also here, 8.3, because I started the camera earlier than the audio recorder. So now there is always a difference between the time, right? That you between your camera source as well as the audio source. So now all you're going to do is you just have to do synchronize map, voila, and it just synchronize the audio. This is from this. I started talking from this point onwards. So now this is something that that you can actually use. And if this was a MP4 file or any .mov file, I wish I had recorded in ProRes format, but I didn't do that. But anyway, this is a tool that you can use to synchronize your audio and video in your editing workflow, and then you can actually export the whole the synchronized video and audio through to either Premiere Pro. If you want to use Premiere Pro, you could do that, or you can also try Final Cut Pro 7, 10, 3. There are different flavors of Final Cut is supported. And this XML, I think it works also. I think if you are using Avid, you can also use that separate format for Avid editor as well, AAF. So this is something that you could use. Again, it's free to download from Tentacle's website if you're using Tentacle Sync to sync your audio and video. I just want to show you this real quick before I say goodbye to you all. And I hope this session is useful to you. And like I said earlier, I am interested in learning about your experience. So please drop in a comment and tell us about your experience in your syncing your audio with your video in the post-processing workflow. And I look forward to coming again on the next one. Till then, bye.